The whispers began like tiny sparks in the quiet, gated hills of Montecito. But now they've ignited into a full-blown Hollywood scandal so loud that not even the soundproof walls of Beverly Hills mansions can contain it. Meghan Markle, the once glittering Duchess of Sussex, is at the center of a storm so toxic that even the most powerful names in Hollywood are running for cover. And let me tell you, this isn't just a scandal. This is an industry-wide rejection of a woman who was once desperate to be the centerpiece of Hollywood royalty. Sources are spilling that top talent agencies in Los Angeles have been whispering urgent warnings to their star clients. Do not, under any circumstances, get caught in a photo with Meghan Markle. Imagine that. Agents practically shoving their A-list stars out of the frame, treating Meghan like she's some career-ending virus. It's brutal, it's humiliating, and it's absolutely unprecedented. Picture the scene. Glossy charity galas in Malibu, glittering dinner parties in Brentwood, exclusive Montecito cocktail nights. Normally, celebs clamor to squeeze into the same photo frame, dying for that star power rub. But when Meghan enters, you can practically feel the room stiffen. Glasses freeze mid-sip, smiles tighten, and subtle shifts begin. Celebs literally change seats to make sure no camera lens captures them anywhere near her. It's as if Meghan is carrying a career-destroying curse. Some stars have even chosen to slip out of events early, just to avoid the faintest chance of association. And remember, this is the same Meghan who once invited Hollywood royalty to her royal wedding, many of them she had never even spoken to before. Back then, she was desperate to be embraced by that A-list glow. Fast forward to today, and those very people are sprinting in the opposite direction. And here's the shocking part. It's not some shady conspiracy against her. No, this is an organic rebellion. Hollywood has had enough. The industry thrives on trust, loyalty, and mutually beneficial relationships. And Meghan? She's burned every single bridge she's tried to build. The exact people she once courted with royal glamour are now leading the charge to blacklist her. Now, let's rewind. Because Meghan's transformation from Hollywood darling to industry pariah didn't happen overnight. Oh no, this was a steady unraveling, an ugly snowball effect that even Hollywood veterans are gasping over. Remember when Meghan and Harry first arrived in California? Oh, the press couldn't get enough. Hollywood's new power couple, headlines screamed. Magazines splashed them across glossy covers. But today, those glory days feel like ancient history. What we're seeing now is the complete demolition of what could have been one of entertainment's most powerful brands. So when did it all go wrong? Insiders say it wasn't one cataclysmic explosion. It was a series of missteps, each one sharper than the last, that alienated every major Hollywood player who once greeted her with open arms. And it all began with that Oprah interview. At first, celebs leaned in. Meghan spilling tea about the royals? Scandalous, juicy, irresistible. But when the interview shifted into relentless attacks against the royal family, the very institution that had given Meghan her global platform, well, that set alarm bells ringing across Beverly Hills. Hollywood has its own unspoken rulebook. Loyalty is everything. Discretion is survival. Watching Meghan rip apart her own family for primetime TV dollars chilled A-listers to the bone. The quiet fear rippled. If she can destroy a 1,000-year-old monarchy for ratings, what might she do to us? That's when the whispers began. Top talent agents drew their red lines. The message became clear. Meghan Markle isn't just a liability. She's a risk no one can afford. Because in Hollywood, image is everything. And if you're sitting on a billion-dollar empire, the last thing you need is a friend who might one day sell your secrets to the tabloids. The betrayal was too obvious. If Meghan could turn her royal connections into a Netflix deal, what would stop her from betraying anyone else for the right price? And here's the jaw-dropper. Meghan Markle has officially become a cautionary tale. Entertainment executives are now using her name in boardrooms as the perfect example of what not to do. Imagine that. The same woman who once sat in the royal box at Wimbledon, beaming in her designer dress, is now a case study in professional self-destruction. Her brand is toxic. Studios, streamers, production companies, they're all backing away, terrified of the drama, the baggage, the endless controversy. Even Netflix, the company that poured $87 million into Meghan and Harry, are whispering their own doubts. Behind closed doors, execs are questioning if they've made one of the worst deals in streaming history. And you know the scariest part? Meghan doesn't see it, not at all. Instead, she's spiraling into paranoid delusion, According to veteran tabloid journalist Matthew Acton, Meghan is convinced, utterly convinced, that there's a coordinated conspiracy in Hollywood to destroy her career. And what's her proof? Hold on to your seat, because it involves none other than Taylor Swift. Yes, Meghan reportedly believes that Taylor Swift deliberately timed her engagement announcement to Travis Kelce to sabotage the launch of Meghan's Netflix show With Love, Meghan. Can you imagine the level of self-importance it takes to think Taylor Swift, the world's biggest pop star, sat down with her team and said, "Let's ruin Meghan Markle's lifestyle show premiere. It's delusional, it's laughable," and yet Meghan is telling friends this exact theory. She even calls it her dark PR arts theory. She claims powerful Hollywood forces are deliberately overshadowing her every move. But here's the irony so thick you could cut it with a knife. Meghan herself once hired Sunshine Sachs, a notorious PR firm infamous for its aggressive smear tactics. She allegedly used bot networks and online trolls, what her so-called Sussex squad still wages war with online today. She is guilty of the very dark PR arts she's now screaming about, and yet she plays the victim card. Worse, she's comparing herself to Princess Diana. Yes, Meghan is telling people she's the modern Diana, targeted by shadowy forces, victimized by the same unseen enemies. Except the comparison isn't just delusional, it's offensive. Offensive to Diana's memory. Offensive to Harry, whose trauma is being ripped open like an old wound for Meghan's narrative. And this isn't just paranoia, this is manipulation. Meghan is reportedly using Diana's tragic story to control Harry, telling him again and again that what happened to his mother is now happening to them. That every rejection, every failed deal, every negative headline is part of a grand plot against them. For Harry, already scarred by grief, this is soul-crushing. Insiders say he's become paranoid, echoing Meghan's conspiracies in interviews, retreating further from reality. The charming prince once adored worldwide, he's vanished, replaced by a man who sees enemies lurking everywhere. And the heartbreak? Meghan knows exactly what strings she's pulling. She knows invoking Diana will break Harry's heart and make him protective. It's emotional manipulation of the darkest kind. But that's not the only heartbreak Meghan's faced recently, because one rejection left her completely shattered, and it came from a woman you'd least expect, Dolly Parton. Now let's talk about the rejection that cut Meghan Markle deeper than any headline, any Hollywood whisper, any agent's warning. It came from someone who almost never says no. Someone who's built an entire career on kindness, generosity, and lifting others up. Yes, Dolly Parton. For Meghan, Dolly wasn't just another celebrity target. No, this was her golden ticket. In Meghan's mind, landing Dolly for her lifestyle show With Love, Meghan would have been the ultimate stamp of approval. Dolly's credibility, her heart, her global respect, imagine how that could have instantly elevated Meghan's brand. It was Meghan's Hail Mary, her last chance to scream, "See, I'm still relevant, I'm still loved." But Dolly Parton, she didn't even hesitate. She flat out said no. And this wasn't just a casual pass, it was a monumental rejection. For Dolly, who's known for rarely turning down collaborations, to deny Meghan so firmly sent shockwaves through the industry. If Dolly doesn't want to work with you, that's not just rejection, that's a neon sign flashing toxic. Insiders say Meghan was crushed, blindsided, humiliated. She had convinced herself Dolly would embrace the chance to appear on her show. But when the door slammed in her face, Meghan didn't stop to self-reflect. Oh no, she immediately spiraled into delusion. According to Radar Online, Meghan actually told friends she believed Kate Middleton was behind Dolly's decision. Yes, you heard that right. She's reportedly convinced the Princess of Wales is pulling strings all the way across the Atlantic, sabotaging her Hollywood dreams. The very idea of Kate Middleton secretly dialing up Dolly Parton to say, "Darling, please don't do Meghan's show," it's beyond ridiculous. It's so far-fetched it belongs in a Netflix thriller, not real life. But Meghan, she clings to the paranoia like a life raft. What she fails to understand is simple common sense. Dolly Parton has performed for royals. She has deep respect for the monarchy. She values loyalty and discretion, two traits Meghan has never shown. Why on earth would Dolly risk her reputation to cozy up to someone who's spent years dragging the royal family through the mud? It's not sabotage, it's not conspiracy, it's self-inflicted, and this rejection is a perfect microcosm of Meghan's Hollywood downfall. She thought the Duchess of Sussex title was her golden key, that she could wield it to secure A-list friendships and partnerships. But she never understood what Hollywood actually values: loyalty, character, mutual respect. Meghan's shown none of these, and now she's paying the price. And the humiliation doesn't stop with Dolly. The heartbreak gets darker, because Meghan isn't just wrecking her own reputation, she's wrecking Harry's mind. Sources whisper that Meghan constantly invokes Diana's memory to explain every failure, every rejection, every cold shoulder. She tells Harry, "They're doing to us what they did to your mother." She insists every failed deal is part of a grand campaign, every celebrity snub is a royal-backed conspiracy. But here's the thing, Diana's tragedy was real. She was trapped, suffocated, targeted in ways we'll never fully understand. Meghan, she chose to leave, she chose to attack, she chose the spotlight again and again. Yet she dares to wrap herself in Diana's legacy, weaponizing Harry's deepest trauma for her own victim narrative. It's manipulation at its cruelest. And it's working. Harry, the once fun-loving prince the world adored, is now a shadow of himself. Instead of healing, instead of reconnecting with family, he's isolating further, parroting Meghan's conspiracy theories in interviews. William, insiders say, is deeply worried. The brother he once laughed with has been swallowed whole by paranoia, and all because Meghan needs him to believe she's a modern Diana under siege. But Hollywood? They're not buying it. Not at all. In fact, the more Meghan leans into this Diana-inspired victimhood, the more celebrities run straight into the arms of William and Kate. It's like a migration, a celebrity stampede back to the real royals. Take David and Victoria Beckham. Meghan once thought they'd be her golden entry into elite circles, but after falsely accusing Victoria of leaking stories to the press, that bridge burned to ash. Now the Beckhams are cozy with William and Kate, attending royal events like loyal friends, leaving Meghan seething on the sidelines. Then there's George and Amal Clooney. Remember how Meghan invited them to her wedding, despite barely knowing them? She treated them like props in her fairy tale. But the Clooneys? They're too savvy to play that game. Now they're firmly aligned with the working royals while Meghan is nowhere in sight. And then, oh, the ultimate humiliation, the Taylor Swift snub. When Meghan went to Taylor's concert in Los Angeles, she got nothing. No photo op, no personal greeting, no backstage access. But when Prince William showed up at Taylor's London show with George and Charlotte, not only did they get VIP treatment, they got a private backstage meet and greet with Taylor herself. The contrast couldn't have been more brutal. Taylor chose the future king over Meghan's self-styled Hollywood royalty. And the pictures of William and his kids grinning with Taylor, they spread like wildfire across the world, sending Meghan's jealousy into overdrive. Because here's the truth, Hollywood stars don't want short-term drama. They want legacy. They want history. And William and Kate represent that. Meghan, she represents chaos, and the rejection just keeps piling higher. Behind closed doors, Netflix execs are reportedly fed up. They poured millions into the Sussexes expecting prestige content, explosive viewership, cultural relevance. But what did they get? A lifestyle show that barely caused a ripple. Marketing campaigns that flopped. Social media buzz that never came. And while Taylor's engagement announcement may have overshadowed Meghan's premiere, the brutal truth is this. Nobody cared in the first place. The show was dead on arrival. Executives are whispering that Meghan is impossible to work with. Entitled, demanding, always blaming sabotage instead of accepting responsibility. And they're asking themselves if the Sussex deal was the worst investment in Netflix history. Hollywood has a word for this: career poison, and Meghan Markle has become the textbook definition.